Hello everyone, this is Vic Benedict. Thanks for coming back to my guide. This is part 13, I believe, and we're on the chapter entitled Next Stop Castlevania, and this is said game on Prince of Darkness difficulty. It's called Lords of Shadow 2. The first thing in this chapter was that upgrade for the Chaos Claws, if you haven't gotten it already. You're allowed to buy one fragment each from Chupacabras' shop. And I'm not sure how they rectify the extra purchase. Maybe they take one of the pain boxes off the map. I'm not really sure. What I do know is that this mission, as it is, it doesn't start where I have it. So I apologize for that, but I had to restart the mission because I got to one point of the train section and I only had one hit left. And I was on that section where you're evading the ceiling panels when you're hanging off the train, and you're not allowed to access your relics, and I couldn't refill. So what I had to do was either do the section without getting hit, which was really difficult, or just restart the mission, which was quicker in totality. But we're not really far from the starting point of Next Stop Castlevania. And this city here that we're in, Castlevania City, it's kind of corny, I will admit that. Same with the dialogue. Whenever you're in any part of the game, Gabriel will have a little line that he speaks, whether it's a sentence or two. It alternates between one or the other of his monologues, and if you're restarting a lot, you'll hear the same dialogue over and over again. And the loading is just as, like I said, just in the previous, I'm not sure if it was I think it was in the last video, but I was saying that the loading times have not been improved. And in the previous game, Lords of Shadow 1, there was no option to install it, I don't believe. But maybe they just did it automatically for you. What I do know, and people who have the Xbox 360, let me know if this game is put on 2 discs like Lords of Shadow was, because I just find that really just poor. It's just like ghetto. Put it on 2 fucking discs. I know the 360 isn't Blu-ray, and it's just so pathetic in my opinion. You can't have the game on 1 disc anymore, but that's not to belittle anyone who has a 360 version. But because I had the 360 version at one point, I just wasn't a PlayStation person at the time, and it's just really awkward and annoying to have to keep switching the discs all the time. But that's just me. The 360 is good for its own functions. Same with the PlayStation. Okay, so here we're going to throw a Chaos Bomb and open this door up. Do some more loading. I don't understand about this loading. Like, why does this game even have to load at all with an installation? It baffles me why there's so much loading, and then why there's even loading at all. That's my next question. I know, it's just one of those things that it's in every game. But I just want to get right back into the game. I don't want to have to. I mean, obviously, no one wants to do loading. But this is where the chapter starts officially, when you restart the mission. And I also realized something really late in the game, and it might be kind of embarrassing, but hell, it might be helpful for somebody who doesn't know it. Double tapping in any direction on the left analog stick is a sprint, which required the what were they called? The boots. They had some kind of a fancy name. Cyclone boots. That's what they were. But anyway, this section over here where you're jumping, it works well. There's no problems. All you need to do if you want to jump off the car and hang off like this, what you have to do is just walk off the car and he'll dangle there. We're going to be getting quite a lot of hidden items over here. The first one is a memorial, which I'm going to be picking up. It's right over here. I saw the bats in the corner of the screen, so I decided to go get this item. There is another memorial down there, but as you can see, that was a lucky jump right there. As you can see, the little nook where it's ordinarily stashed, it's gone now. So we're going to jump down here now and start doing some stealth sections. It's a pretty action-packed chapter, to be honest. Here's the checkpoint. They put the checkpoint behind this door, or excuse me, this is the checkpoint, so every time you restart you'll have to open the door, probably buffering loading times again. And that must not have been a skippable cutscene. So there's one guy closest to us, and I'm going to use the bat swarm on him. So the other guy is more or less stationary, so throw the bats at him, and then the other guy will come to his aid. And then what you want to do is circle around in an arc and then possess him, and then backtrack to the door. And is that a checkpoint? I think, yes, this is the new checkpoint. So throw the bat swarm at that guy and then come up here, and you're going to have this little incident right here that happens every single time. The best way to deal with this guy, because you're going to have to use his body to open the door, this is the safest way to do it. Just don't go any farther down this ladder, or his flashlight will see you and he'll shoot you and you'll be dead. But just take him out in this manner, and it's safer, because coming off the other ladder, there is more of a radius where he can see you. So do you see the memorial in the distance right over there, as well as that pain box? You can actually come back here after the train section and get, let's see, what can you get? You can get the experience cache, you can get a pain box, and I think that's it, and a memorial, excuse me. But first of all, you want to go and turn into the rats. And what I was trying to find out a way to get these items, but I realized it was just pointless, because if ever I can't get anything, it's normally because I don't have the mist or I don't have the double jump. And when you come back here, actually, you can't get the pain box because you need the double jump for that, and you're not going to be able to get the pile. What are they called? The rubble piles. But once you get back into the mist over here, the Golgoth guard is going to sense something, and it's going to have a cutscene which I edit out. And we'll have a fight with this guy here. It's very easy. When he stomps his foot, he's going to send out like a spray of dirt that isn't a vertical line. It comes right at you, but it's easy to avoid. So once you grab this guy, you want to head outside the window. Make sure you light up everything so you can quickly see which way you want to go. And for this section here, you have to go down against the camera. And this is another checkpoint here. What you want to do now is just avoid the guy and throw the bat swarm at this enemy here, the same guy who was messing with us, and you'll get another checkpoint. If you don't throw the bat swarm at him, he'll fail you every time. And I believe now what you're doing is you're running away from the camera onto the next car. Now we're going down on the ladder, and we're going to get a checkpoint once we go into this window. This is a little sly over here, because when I was playing this, I didn't think that the game would have it so easy that this guy would just turn around. I thought that he was bound for the other side of the car, and I would have to do something. But the only thing you have to do is just wait for him to do his little pivot and walk the opposite direction. Don't throw the bat swarm at him, because if you do that, you can't possess him like this. In fact, you'll end up dying if you even touch him when the bats are around him. So just walk up to the door and hit the switch now, and we'll have a little bit of a longer battle with this enemy here. It's not a boss or anything, it's just a standard enemy. And it's got some good perspective here. It looks like it's a perspective camera. No, it's more of one of those fights where it just times out. And make sure you fill up your health over here, because you don't want to get. That's exactly what I had to do. I got caught in this section right over here. You could use any time up until now. You're safe to use it, but watch all this damage that I receive here. This was the amount of damage that I took into the checkpoint, but when you see me again post checkpoint, I will have redone the mission, and now I have full health. I did try to do the section without getting hit, because that's all I could afford was one hit. But for the first three obstacles, you don't have to move at all. I got pretty far without getting hit, but you're not sent back too far if you restart the mission, so it was actually a lot quicker just to restart the mission. And if you don't know about lunging in this game when you're on platforms, you press left or right on the analog stick, or whichever way you're going, and then the jump button. Sometimes you even have to like double tap it to lunge. In fact, I think that's what you have to do to quickly lunge to another side of a platform while you're dangling from it. Okay, so here's the final bout against this guy. Not much room to fight him, but there's that one attack that I mentioned before where he stomps the ground and does that dirt trail. And this should be the conclusion of the chapter. Now we're going to have an escort to fight alongside us, and I'm going to head back the way we came. You'll see me sprint over here. It really isn't helpful either. I mean, it's because it times out. That's the problem with it. See, it times out after about 5 strides. So going back into this venue, if I had the double jump, I'll show you where the pain box is. Here's the experience cache. It's going to give us 2,000. I'll need to get some more of those keys. I think I'm out of keys now. But anyway, there is a sacrificial pile up on the rafters, and I think the way to get that is where the pain box is, running past it. The pain box is up there. See it right there? I think it gives you a void gem. This gem over here, this one is a health gem, the red one. So if you want to smash all the boxes around here, you can. And that's what I'm going to do probably. There we go, having some lovely iframes during the grab. The grab in the other game was the R2 button, not the O button as it is in this game. And you could actually pull enemies to you with the chain if they were like the small enemies, or even some of the medium-sized enemies like the lichens. So, not only did God of War Ascension change its grab button, but this game did too. Kind of startling. But I'll probably be getting a PS4 sometime, maybe next month, because I want to play Tomb Raider on, with 60 frames a second, and I also want to play the new Batman game that was announced, because it does say that it's going to be out this year. So that's a couple of good games. And then when I saw that announcement, I'm like, that doesn't give my own prediction about this game being the game of the year as much room to stand on, or ground to stand on, whatever. But I was pretty much joking when I said that. But to me, it's the game of the year. And I also heard that some DLC is coming to this game on the 25th. Up there, you see up there, I'm going to move the camera a bit and even do a jump. It's up there. I don't know how to get that. Some of these I don't even try to get them because I know that it's pretty much pointless to try to get things that most likely are with that, like without the upgrades you can't get them anyway. So I like to have all the upgrades and then go searching for the items. It just makes it quicker and less disappointing when something is within your grasp but you can't get it because you lack for something. And I know I do realize that I have the ability to buy an upgrade, upgrade one of my skills, but I don't think it's really professional to browse in menus and upgrade things in a guide. I think it's more professional to just leave that stuff off camera, unless I'm trying to demonstrate something. And you might want to look around these trains here. There might be another memorial. And we don't have much ways to go until we'll be in the next chapter. Or I guess they're called missions now, aren't they? But we'll be in the next mission. It's called the Blood Curse. I'm not really sure how long it is because I haven't played it yet. The way I play and record stuff and edit things is that I play on the computer that I edit my games. Like I have my HDMI cable from my PS3 into my tower and my video card into my monitor where I sit. So I'll do a part in the game and then I'll edit it because I don't like to just have like a huge pile of footage that I need to edit. So that's why my content is so specific and it looks like I have a lot of inside knowledge about how to get things in games, but that's the reason why. Because I usually like to do like 2 sections and then just no more than that before I just go into my files and start editing.
Careful with those up there.
But I understand that some people will play on like a TV, like on a television, which I don't. Like I just said, I play on a 30-inch monitor at my desk, but some people will like beat the entire game and they'll have all their footage on, like a capture, some kind of capture device, and then they'll do their editing like after that. But there's no way I could remember where I needed to make all the little edit marks. Because my content is so specific and lining up everything, it's way too hard, and the mistake rate goes way up if you don't do it the way I do it. I feel anyway, because I used to just record just a bunch of footage and have a couple hours worth of footage to go through. But with that much footage, you overlook so much, and I make very few mistakes these days. In fact, I make like 1% is my mistake rate for making mistakes. Anyway, here is another cache down here with the key access only. So I think I'm pretty much out of keys. And you might have also noticed that we're with this knight that was in the beginning of the game who brought us to Zobek. I won't reveal his identity because he does have a very relevant identity in this game, but I'm not going to say what it is, but not until it actually has any bearing on where we're currently at in the guide. Okay, so we have ourselves a checkpoint, and I believe we're going to do another fight down here, if memory serves, and it does serve correctly. And I think in the next chapter we're going to be dealing with Carmilla, who was the second of the three Lords of Shadow in the previous game. Now, these guys here, an interesting type of enemy. They look kind of like a satyr kind of enemy with that incandescent chest cavity. Looks like they have some kind of a disease brewing in their chest cavity. But just remember, when they expire, when their health bar is all gone, they're going to explode, like this guy's doing right now. And I can't really say that with my weapons maxed out, having the third mastery tree or skill level for all the weapons, I don't think these enemies are falling any quicker than they would if my weapons were at mastery level 1. It could simply be for trophies and have no bearing on the combat. The reason I was doing it was because I wanted to hit harder. That's the reason.
Come on, jump to me.
Okay, in this next area, there is no fight. There will be when we come back later in the game. I think there's at least 2 items over here for you to get, but they're not going to be on this map because I've already got them. But the lieutenant will leave when you're on the beam up ahead. He just leaves suddenly. It's kind of bizarre. Okay. Oh, the reason I pulled up my menu right there was because I wanted to make sure that I was still in the Next Stop Castlevania mission. And in this game, you might have noticed by now, or if you haven't, it's probably because you simply haven't played the game yet, that there is no losing one's balance while you're beam walking now. That was pretty annoying in the other games. In fact, it was really, really fucking annoying. So they've taken out the puzzles in this game. What does that mean to me? I never liked the puzzles to begin with, and in all honesty, I would always cheat on the puzzles because they were so complicated and arcane that, with the exception of a few, I didn't even want to have anything to do with the puzzles. And the puzzles were in like almost every chapter, and they were difficult, really, really convoluted puzzles. Like, some of the ones in the DLC are even, like, the worst offenders. So, I'm glad that the puzzles are out of the game. Okay, so that's the end of the chapter, you guys. I'll see you in the Blood Curse mission, and it's the next video, and bye-bye.